and so I'll play the first measure, thinking only about the bass voice. And it sounds the same to you, but and I already screwed it up. Again, I made a mistake. Hello and welcome to whatever this video is. My name is Mickey and I am learning how to play the piano. I started learning consistently on the first of this year, and I am really obsessed with practicing piano. I've always kind of been around music my whole life, but I haven't really seriously learned the piano ever, and I decided I want to. And so I've practiced every day this year so far. I've practiced at least 20 minutes, usually like 30 or 40 minutes, and I'm kind of learning how to learn as I learn, and I am going to record where I'm at right now, because it dawned on me that in the same way that my videos I've made about learning German and Arabic have inspired people, that maybe like seeing what the process of learning the piano could be inspiring. And I want to keep it up, so I'm hoping to keep recording videos and eventually maybe make something fun that shows the before and after of however long I manage to keep up this motivation. The way I've learned so far is I asked a friend. I called my friend Conrad, who's really good at piano, and I asked him what he would do if he were to start learning today, and he said to learn a Bach chorale. And so I found on the internet a Bach chorale, and I picked one with the fewest accidentals, the fewest sharps and flats, and I learned it one measure at a time. And now I know it. And so I learned this mostly in January, and I'll play it now. It's called Alle Menschen müssen sterben, which means all people must die. It means all people must die. It's not as sad a song as it sounds. Yeah, so I made a few mistakes in there, but overall I have it memorized because that's just the way I have to learn right now. I can't really read and play at the same time. That's kind of another exercise I have been doing is now that I have the piece memorized, I try to read the music for it while simultaneously playing, and just choosing a voice to focus on. I'm a little stage fright recording all of a sudden. Maybe that's good. Maybe recording oneself playing is itself a good practice technique, because it means that you get used to just the idea of people watching. I really want to learn this as well as I can. So any feedback you have is most welcome. Leave it as a comment. I'm assuming all of a sudden that I'm going to publish this on YouTube. Yeah, so that's part of it. The Bach chorale, listening to bass voice. I'm going to listen to bass voice. So that's something I do, and it helps me to it's getting easier to do that, to play through it while reading the music. I know that sounds ironic, but for me, it's harder to play while reading music, even though I have it memorized, than it is to just play it from memory. Because how can a person really process 4 notes at once? This is a 4-part piece of music, so it's hard to, I don't know. That's another thing. Musically, my real training musically is on the oboe. I play the oboe, and the oboe can only play 1 note at a time, and it can't play 2 notes at a time. And I feel personally that has really affected the way I approach music in general, and I think it limits me in some way. The fact that I learned music on a melodic, uninotational instrument, and not on something where you can explore harmonies and the way 2 notes sound together. And so when when I'm talking about music or listening to it and trying to understand what makes a song feel the way it does, or the way, or how to compose something, I really don't understand harmonies and chord progressions the way that most people who are good at music can, and I want to be able to do that. So that's a really big reason why I'm learning the piano, actually. And so then the next thing that I'm learning that I'm really focusing on is technique. And my other good piano playing friend, Charles, when I told him I was learning piano, he said, if you're not getting lessons, you should at least get a book, get the Hannon book, and it'll help me learn how to play properly. Hannon for the Virtuoso Pianist, which I think it's so funny. The beginning of this book, the prologue, it says, or the preface, he writes, "The study of the piano is nowadays so general, and good pianists are so numerous, that mediocrity on this instrument is no longer endured. In consequence, one must study the piano 8 or 10 years before venturing to perform a piece of any difficulty, even at a gathering of amateurs." And then he goes on, and I just think it's hilarious to imagining a gathering of amateurs where people who have played for 7 years daren't attempt anything. Anyway, I've so far been working on this for like 3 weeks, and I think I've made it through the very first exercise now. It's just a bunch of 16th notes, ascending and descending. This one I don't really feel like I need to read along with the music for, because it is just so repetitive, and it doesn't feel like educational to me. So maybe I should be reading the music while playing it, but you have to always set a metronome for this, and it's always when I first got the book, like end of January, I read the instructions. It said to start at 60 beats per minute and then gradually increase to 108 beats per minute. I set the metronome for 60, and I couldn't even imagine being able to do that. And that's so I started it really at 80 beats per minute for the 8th note. So that's really just 40 beats per minute for the quarter note. So I started at this tempo playing this. And so on, and then work my way up to 60, which was his like minimum instructions, Hannon's minimum instructions, and gradually work my way up to 108, which was the target. And I just managed to do that yesterday, and I'll try to do that now with the metronome, and maybe I'll play it well. I'm going to try it right now. So I give myself like I don't know. It wasn't. I'm stage fright right now, and I stage frightened right now, and I think that I could play that better when you're not looking. But still, what's the point of playing when no one's looking? So I think I should really judge my playing by how well I do it when a camera's on me. So anyway, I invite you into this process. I think I'll just kind of wrap it up now, and maybe I'll keep playing and just sharing thoughts on learning the piano and what I'm doing to learn the piano, and maybe you can tell me what you're doing to learn the piano, and I don't know. This is just good. This will be fun. Most importantly, somewhat importantly, it will be for me to be able to look back on this and be like, oh wow, that's how I played the piano on February 13th, 2018, and then it'll be a year from now, and I'll have long since quit the piano, and I'll be like, well, maybe I can be that good again. No, I'm just kidding. I will be great at the piano someday, and it'll be cool to see this, and then everyone who's like, wow, who's this? This Mickey Mangan pianist is amazing. He must have been born that way. But you'll be able to say, no, I saw him play piano on February 13th, 2018, and he was not very good, and he was playing on an out-of-tune piano, and he didn't know how to read music and play at the same time, and I know I can be as good as the amazing Mickey Mangan too, and everyone will know that learning stuff isn't magical. It's just doing it, and I'll keep trying to tell myself that and tell you that, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Oh, maybe this is good too. This is how well I can play the piano, just kind of making something up. It's not, I don't know